everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports.
Fasten your seatbelts for one of the great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of 2 games between these teams this year, and you know it's going to be entertaining.
It's the Packers going up against the Vikings.
For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes just beyond the 35. But that pretty move got him some extra space to run. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 94 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On now is the Packers punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. He's going to field this at the 4. Spins past it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Extra point attempt to follow here. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3-and-out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offensive move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. So that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. Touchdown, Vikings!
That's the second touchdown return of the game. And yes, we're only in the first quarter.
How about that for a start? So he's on pace for 8. You think he gets there?
I don't see how, but right now, he's got to like what he's getting done.
Yeah, he likes it. His team loving it. Point after try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder down.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Skirts by him at the 35. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4". They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He sets to fire deep. almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Here we go.
Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 2 yards on that play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because...
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Here we go.
They're going to try and throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And to give this time to the tailback. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased and able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually...
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, it's Dixon. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now on first, Dixon again. And some room to run now. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Time running out here on the play clock. Now a handoff for Dixon. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
Come on, let's go! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wind up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Second down, 9 yards to go. On play action, they'll throw. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know the benefits from all those empty seats? You and me trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. Now a handoff here to his running back. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
He'll look to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Pulled in at the 24. Look at those stick skills. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Now let's go. Blue line. Blue line.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. The Packers on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Let's go. 319. 319.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Rosas puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And to give this time to the tailback. Finding room to the 20 and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That good for 19 on a first down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. A run by Dixon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
Singing too.
No, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They run a draw here on second down. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some. He's got daylight. The 30, 20, 10, and somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It's a loss of 7, and now it's third down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really